Says I'm live. Am I live? Well, I think I just got the notification that I'm live. Hey, look at that. 2 times in a row without any failures. And people got alerts. Awesome. How's everyone doing? Hope you guys got some good Christmas gifts. I know I lucked out pretty big. A lot of people saying hello. I'm just going to say hello to everyone. Gotta pop this chat out. Minimize that. Oh, my beta light just turned off. Now it's really dark in here. Nick got a 60-gallon fish tank. That's pretty cool. Okay, just gotta rearrange my screen. Give me a second. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Mason worked 12 hours on Christmas. That's rough. Oh, V won a gift certificate from the co-op. That's sweet. Get rid of this. Got a 20-gallon long in the Spec 5. The Spec 5 is nice. I had one for a while until I cracked it. I'm on the 58. Oh, 58-inch TV. That's too big. You don't want to see me that close up and personal. I got like $200 for fish stuff. So my Christmas story is this. I had my Christmas on the 23rd with my family. Tropical fish says, how did I crack my tank? I don't know. They're so small, and I had it with a bunch of other tanks, and I was doing maintenance, and I don't know what happened. It just started leaking. So, back to the story. I was up with my parents, and we were all having our local Christmas before they all head out to Oregon. And I noticed that Corey went live about that Petsmart deal. So I was like, oh, Dad, give me your laptop. I got to see what this is. So we were all looking at it, and then ended up getting one for Christmas. So that was pretty cool. And then finally, yesterday, I went down to pick it up, and I was looking at it, and I was checking the seams, and there was basically like no sealant on it. It was like glass on glass. And I was like, this thing is trash. I can't take this home. And I asked if they had another one. Of course, they didn't. I asked if they had the Aqueon 65-gallon because that was on sale as well. And they were like, nope, we're sold out of that one too. And then, you know, I spent like 10 years in retail, so I know what's going on. I know the secrets. So I asked, do you have anything in the back? Because there's always something in the back. And they were like, well, we have the 120-gallon ensemble kit, but the stand took a little bit of forklift damage, so we can't sell it. And I was like, well, I'll buy it. How much? How much? And they're like, well, we really can't sell it because it can't be warranted and blah, blah, blah. And so finally I was like, I don't care. And just let me take a look at it. And it's missing like a chunk like that big off the back of the stand. And at this point, I'd already returned the Marineland ensemble deal and got my money back. And well, I got it as a gift card because I didn't pay for it. But I was like, well, let's just do an even swap. And he was like, well, can really only go to like 200. I was like, let's just do an even swap. You can't sell it. What are you going to do with it? And so he was like, okay. So I got the entire 120-gallon kit, the stand that has just a little piece of chunk missing out of it. Of course, it comes with the tops and the lights and everything for the same price as that Marineland. It was pretty awesome. And so now I have another big tank in my garage that I probably won't do anything with for a while. I just collect big tanks. I don't actually set them up. Yeah. Now everyone says, where are you going to put it? So my 75-gallon Lake Tanganyika tank is actually on a 5-foot stand. So I'm going to tear that down. I'll put this 120-gallon, which is a 5-foot tank, and then just do an old swap-a-roo. So I should get that up pretty quick. The problem is getting it through my garage. I don't have space with the 240 and the 125 and all my other fish crap, so that's kind of what I've been doing the last day, or yesterday and today, is just cleaning, making room. Put it on Craigslist. So yeah, and I mean that's just one example of my local Petsmart and how awesome they are. They've done well by me very, very many times. So Joel says, "Do you have Boxing Day sales?" No, I didn't even know what that was when everyone was talking about it the other day, but now I know. I can't put it behind me because I'm on the second floor, and it's still a marine land tank, which means I don't trust it, especially the bigger marine land tanks. So it's definitely going to be a first floor tank. Matt says, "What's the best way to swap out these tanks?" Basically, I'll put all my fish in one tote, and then I'll put all the substrate in another tote and keep it wet, and then just empty it, swap it out. Hey, Russell's here. Put a snake in it. I've been looking at ball pythons, but they don't need 120 gallons, that's for sure. What's the biggest tank you would put on a second floor? Well, I'm putting a 33-gallon tank behind me, and that's about the biggest I'm going to go. And that's only because I personally resealed it this summer, so I know it's going to be good. Any reason you don't trust Marine Land's larger tanks? All you have to do is Google it, and you're going to see so many horror stories. Just, oh man. You can go on YouTube and see like their 300-gallon, just tons of videos of them leaking all the time. Hey, Charles is here. What's up, Charles? If I owned the house, I would put a bigger tank up here, but I don't, so it's just not worth risking it. The Ultimate says, "What are your thoughts on Aqueon tanks? They're pretty much the only tanks I'll buy unless I get crazy good deals." Yeah, I'm not really worried about the weight of the tank. I would put a 125-gallon in here and wouldn't be worried about the weight. It's the leaking. If something happened and it leaks, that's where the mess is going to be on a second story. Oh, yep, I've seen LR Brett's. See, LR Brett, perfect example. He had a 180-gallon on a second floor and it leaked like twice, I think, maybe even 3 times already. Joel says, "Do you rent from somebody you know? Do your landlords knows about the aquarium?" I rent from someone I know. He's actually sitting right over here playing City Skyline, so he definitely knows. He owns the house, and we've been friends for as long as I can remember. So I can tell you another story about my local PetSmart and why I think they're awesome. This is only my local PetSmart. I've gone to other PetSmarts that have not been that great. But with this whole fiasco with my dog, I had to basically research dog food and get a whole different brand of dog food. And I went in there and they spent like an hour and a half with me going over every single brand of dog food, the ingredients, exactly what I was looking for. So I was pretty happy about that too. Any bad experiences with PetSmart? Uh, I haven't had one yet. And On Black Friday, when I bought the 125 gallon um, ensemble, they even price matched the $30, the extra $30 off that you get on the website for whatever that deal was. EJ, you got the 75 gallon too? Nice. I would have got it. It just there was like no seal. I mean, you could like feel inside the corner, and you couldn't feel any silicone at all. But I mean, every store is different. It all depends on the people. So the core people at this store have been there since I've been going to the store. And I'm probably the guy when they see walk in, like they probably roll their eyes because they know I'm going to be such a pain in the butt. I'm always super nice to them. Anthony says, I don't like the way PetSmart keeps their fish. For the most part, I don't like that they all share filtration, but every single time I've gone to this PetSmart, there's someone doing water changes. And they told me that they do them every day, like they do sections every day, and I still have not been in there where they weren't doing a water change, so that's pretty cool. Big Joe said, I had a PetSmart 60-gallon tank stand break because it's made out of pressured garbage wood. Yep. And that's not really PetSmart's fault. That's like when Marineland builds these particle board stands, and the particle board is crap. You have to go through Marineland, not PetSmart. Cameron, I bet you could. He wants to know if you can keep Corys with Geophagus. Yeah, I've seen people do it. Buying fish, yes. Buying supplies, no. PetSmart is much better to work. Oh, I hate Petco. My PetSmart also price matches the Petco dollar gallon sale. Let's see, I think in spring, PetSmart, every once in a while, PetSmart has these like crazy cheap online, ridiculously below cost, like the FX6 that was $174. They had the AquaClear 50 on sale for like $17 or $18 in the spring, and they only had one in stock, and I bought it, and then I waited like 3 days before I actually went in and picked it up because I didn't need it, but it was 17 bucks. And then they had three more in, and I was like, oh, can I buy these three at the same price? And they're like, sure. My local PetSmart rolls their eyes every time, yeah. I'm sure they don't roll their eyes at me, and I'm sure I'm probably one of their better customers. I know when I was in retail, you always had that guy in there that would be there for an hour, but he spent money, and he was always nice there. They were always nice to talk to, so. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of debate on that, Joe. If they're going to sell it, they should back it up, but I don't know. It kind of goes both ways. Aquatics says, I work at a PetSmart 10.5 years. They must treat you right. The problem with PetSmart is they're pretty cocky. They don't know their stuff, but they really think they do. Most of the time I outsmart them. I don't know if that's a problem just with PetSmart. I've seen that at Petco just as much as anywhere else. PetSmart and Petco employees have a bad habit of underestimating kids. I think that's probably most retail places, to be honest. Carlos says, would you put 3 rainbow fry with German blue ram stir-bys, or I wouldn't put them with the German blue rams, they'll probably eat them. The dwarf gouramis might eat them depending on the size. Or the rasboras would be good, but again, the sparkling gourami, depending on the size. I mean, if they're big enough to fit in the mouth, the gouramis are going to eat them. The rams will definitely eat them. Dan says, I put a picture of the Flubel Pier on my Instagram. Yeah, I had multiple messages. So thanks to everyone that messaged me. I saw it. Does PetSmart buy you carry anything unusual? The one near me barely has German blue rams in stock. Most of the workers don't even know what a pistos are. No, but they are willing to order. Um, but the problem is when you look at their order list, they have like just 20 pages of fish, but they don't know what's in stock. So that's the problem. So all these rare fish are on their fish list, but they're just getting them out of farms in California and Florida that never have the rare stuff. But they had it once like 5 years ago, so it's on the list. Big Joe. Oh, Big Joe says that was the only bad experience. Yeah, I mean, it would kind of depend on how. I don't know. I don't remember if he said, but how long did you have the stand before it broke? If it was like years, then they're definitely not going to do anything. Fantastic says my local fish store said I could put a goldfish in a bowl. That's yeah. PetSmart has good special sales, but my area Petco has better prices. Yeah, they're always way better, or way higher than Amazon. But my PetSmart is always cheaper than Petco. It's funny how the different regions are like that. Mason Brando says, Bob, what is your opinion on the 50-gallon lowboy tank? I've actually been contemplating taking mine down. It's only 10 inches tall, so if you put like 2 inches of substrate, then you only have 8 inches left, and this doesn't leave you a lot of room. I'm sure it's awesome for saltwater, but I don't know. I'm thinking about taking mine down because in the same amount of space, I can get two 33-gallon longs. I'll let you guys know that a lot of your comments are getting blocked automatically by the filter because I do have no swearing turned on. Just FYI. Little Lake Aquarium says you should put a tank behind me. All in good time. I'm focusing on my fish room right now, but eventually there will be a tank behind me. Flynn says, I have a 30-gallon tank and an Aqueon 30 filter. I don't feel that is enough. Your thoughts? I would probably get the next one up to 50. Have you had any experience with the Seachem Tidal hang-on back filter? No, I haven't, Ron. I thought that was just a rebranded of a hang-on back that was already made. Let me check. Is that the new one that they're coming out with? Yeah, so the Seachem Tidal Power built by, I don't even know how to pronounce it, SICCE. So they've already been building it forever. They've already been making it. I think that's like a French company. Gavin says, any plans for your 125? Well, I was going to put all my like peacocks and all my grow outs in it, but now I might put those in the 120. I don't know. Kayla says, how's the shrimp doing, Bob? So the black tiger shrimp I gave away because I killed like 3 of them, and so I scooped up all the ones I had left and I gave them to someone who's way better at shrimp than me. The yellow shrimp that I got from LR Brett's are doing awesome, but I need to ask him, like, what are the odds that I got all the same sex? Because they're all doing awesome, but they're not spawning. No one's egg bound. Little Lake Aquarium says my local fish store won't even let you buy a fish unless you have an adequate tank. Yeah, I would say that's a good fish store. Sichi, yeah, I've heard it before. I just couldn't remember. Carlos said, just discovered threadfin rainbows. You like? I like them, Carlos, but I've never kept them because I'm not sure that I could keep them, uh, with a lot of things. I feel like their fins would get nipped at a lot. Caleb says, my local fish store says you have to be over the age of 18 to buy fish. That's probably true with all their animals, though, unless it's a dedicated fish store. Are you going to be there at 10:10? Corey wants to get rid of its studio. Big Joe, I'm not sure what you mean. Freshwater fish, yeah, I kind of already went off on my tangent, so you'll just want to rewatch the beginning when it goes live. Basically, I got a screaming deal in a 125 or 120 gallon tank, and then some other stories. I also emailed the corporate office just to let them know how happy I was. Hopefully, I don't get them in trouble if they watch this and they're like, you sold that tank for how much? You're all fired. Ron says, did you find any algae wafers for your plecos? Oh shoot, I was gonna bring them up and show you. I got some on eBay, and I'm still trying them out. So I like them better than the random ones I got off Amazon. Mason says, Bob, what's your favorite substrate for tanks you won't plant in? That's the lapis luster sand made by Cemex. And I don't know where you can get it. I get it at Sandblasting Company. So that's kind of something. I'll type it out for you. Which has better fish stuff? Live Fish, eBay, or Amazon? I always try to buy things through Amazon just so I can get the prime shipping. Caleb says, my Petsmart once cut me a deal on a tank and light because I'm in there so often spending money. Yeah, that's kind of something I don't think you'll ever get out of Petco. I mean, sometimes if they have plants that haven't sold and are just like growing like a jungle outside of the tank, they'll give you a deal on it. But that's the only time I've ever seen Petco kind of give anyone a deal. Bob, what is the local aquarium club for Mount Vernon? I don't think there's one in Mount Vernon. I think it's just the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society. And people actually drive down from Mount Vernon. Some people drive down from Bellingham. Patrick says, what are your plans for this aquarium? Cichlids. Cichlids are definitely going to go in it, but I just don't know which ones. Kayla wants to know if anyone has used Omega-1 mini pellets. I've never used Omega-1 food, although I think I'm going to try next time I need food. Flynn says, I wish I could join an aquarium club, but I am a kid. I don't know why that would prevent you. We have lots of kids in the Seattle Aquarium Society. Lots of kids a lot younger than you. A name unavailable got a rose-haired tarantula today. Well, that's pretty sweet. I recently used livefish.com. It's pretty good. I've never used them. I've never used like Live Aquaria or Live Fish Direct. I think something like that. I've never used them. Yeah, I think Kyle says he used Omega-1 pellets in his 30-gallon community aquarium and everyone loved it. Uh, I've heard a lot of good things. I think their first ingredient is real salmon. Bob, they smell delicious. Okay. Do they taste delicious? I've never inquired, but it appears the minimum age for my local aquarium club is 60. Yeah, we got a lot of old timers in ours too. Got a lot of, they're really stubborn. I think it's kind of funny. Eden says, Julidochromis malariae for the tank behind you. I think they're going to stay in my Tanganyikan tank. I already know what I'm putting behind, but you're going to have to wait. I'm going to make you guys wait. I know what I'm putting in my tank. Caleb wants to know how many people in chat ride snowmobiles. Pando wants to know if I have any experience with Jurupari, and if they can go in a 75-gallon, you're probably doing okay. It depends on how big of a colony you're going to get. I don't have any personal experience, but it's a fish I've had my eye on for a few months now. Yeah, that was the other thing, EJ. So when I was looking at that marine land, like the light is awful. I don't even know how that even got put in that package. It barely even reaches the bottom with no water in it at all. He also wants to know, what do you recommend for growing plants? I would recommend a 48-inch, and I would do 2 lights, and I would do the Phoenix Planet Plus, not the 24/7, the old school one, the good ones. I would do 2 of those. I've never kept desert gobies. I've only kept, it's like the algae goby. I forget what the name of it was. I had it for a long time and then it just disappeared. I'm sure it passed away and something ate it. Brian says, I live a stone's throw away from Petsmart. I like them for supplies, but not for fish. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Although sometimes you can find some really good looking rainbow fish, so I always look. Thanks for stopping by, Cichlid Addicted. Mark says, I shop at my local PetSmart, but they're taking a lot of customers from the local pet shops, so I try to buy as much as mom and pop. I generally buy all my fish through mom and pop shops. If their product is in like a couple dollars of Amazon, then I'll buy it there, but if usually it's ridiculously more expensive, like sometimes double than Amazon, and I can't afford that. I want to support them, but not that much. Melody says Aqua Clear 110 or Emperor 400. Aqua Clear 110 hands down. Carlos asks, have I ever considered discus? Not even for a second. I really want to, but I'm not a fan of the high maintenance and also require a very large tank. I don't think they require large tanks. I just think they're way too delicate and I don't want to deal with that. Cole says, is $15 a good price for rainbows? Depends on the type, but that's about the average price around my area. Johnny Moore says, what size tank would you suggest for a breeding group of peacock cichlids? The smallest would be a 40-gallon. Flynn's Fish Forum asks, best hang-on back filter company? I would say everyone, the majority would say Aqua Clear. I already see a couple Aqua Clears coming in. I feel like I'm the only one that doesn't like AquaClear, and honestly, I used to really like the Aqueon hang-on back filters, but now the so up to the 30, I think are really good, but when you get to the 50 or the 75, so the two biggest models are absolutely junk, and those are the ones I use. Um, I bought a bunch of them like a year ago. I probably have like 6 of them running right now, and a couple brand new ones in a box, and they all die after like a year. So all the ones I bought last year, they're all dying like right now. I've already have 3 die, and I emailed Aqueon. I was like, "You guys have a lifetime warranty on these. Why are they all dying?" And they're like, "Yeah, the 50 and the 75, they'll last about 12 months, and then you got to replace the bushings." And I'm just thinking, why do I got to do this? So they sent me all these bushings for all my filters, and I'm like, I don't want to do this. This filter cost me $20, and now I got to put an hour or 2 hours worth of work into every one of them. Hey Charles, thanks for stopping by. I'll see you guys, or I'll see you next time. So now I think Aqueon's junk, the bigger ones. I think the Marineland's junk. I think all hang-on back filters are junk, and I'm gonna get rid of all of them. Oh, Charles, I have not, if you're still here, I've not tried the Flubel Flesh 2.0. I want to, though. Kayla says, Bob, I saw a YouTube video talking about discus. Haven't we domesticated them enough that they become hardier? Probably. And I actually have perfect water for discus. And I'm just not interested. I don't know. All the fish I keep right now, if I get lazy and don't do a water change, they'll last forever. Not forever, but I could be like 2-3 weeks behind on a water change on a tank and not have any problems with all the fish I have right now. I feel like if I did that with discus, I'd be asking for trouble. Andrew says, Bob, what do you do for a living? Burning says IT. That is correct. Brendan says, bought 3 swordtails yesterday, but they don't come to the top to breed. What should I do? It'll probably be weeks, if not a month or 2, before they're comfy in their new tank. Cole says, canister filters for life. I say sponge filters for life. Esoteric Aquatics, basically, for the I don't know, 2-3 years I've been going there now, they've always taken care of me, but this time they really gave me a good deal on the 120-gallon aquarium ensemble, which means I got the stand, the glass top, the lights, the whole package for dirt cheap. Jewel says, is the Marineland Advanced LED light on a 29-gallon long tank 29-gallon long? I've never seen that. Or are you asking a 29-gallon long tank enough light for low light plants? Yeah, I would say so, like Anubias and Java ferns. Fishman says sponge filters for life. There we go. Ben Cheek says, yeah, so you're doing 50% weekly water changes. I only do that on like one of my tanks. Freshwater Fix says, what are your thoughts on putting an FX6 on my 55? I have a blood parrot, an electric blue Jack Dempsey, and a female Jack, and a bunch of bristlenose. I don't think I would worry about the flow. The bristlenose are obviously not going to care, and if the other fish are big enough, they shouldn't have any problem with it either. Esoteric Aquatics, 29-gallon long. Yeah, that kind of threw me off too. Well, let me take that back. If I didn't have like 30 tanks up and running, Ben, I would probably do. I would probably try discus, but I just don't have the time. Carlos says all hang-on back filters are bad. I agree. You just bought the AquaClear 110. Well, I would say AquaClear is probably the best one, but I still think it's terrible. Name unavailable says, Bob, you should branch into reptiles. It's just a matter of time, my friend. Jewel says, I'm pretty sure it's a 30 gallon. Yeah, I have a 30 gallon long. That makes sense. Joel was blocked. I'm not sure why, but I'll read. It says, it's a taboo to love Petsmart. Is it because they're just big and everyone hates on corporations? Or is it because they're crap because they're a franchise run by bad processes and management? A lot of people don't like the way they take care of their fish. Same with Petco. Burning says, how do you interpret KH tests to know what your buffer is like? I don't know. I don't pay attention to KH. I've never really had to. Sorry, I wish I had more answers. You probably asked that one to Corey because I know he probably looks at his KH on his test strips, but I don't. How could I make an auto water change system for 2 totes right next to each other? That sounds like more trouble than it would be worth. I mean, you're gonna have to plumb something in, or have an even bigger tote to pump water out of. And then, so you'd have 2 totes, and then you would need like 2 totes that are twice the size of those 2 totes. Yeah, my answer was ask Corey. Kayla, I don't have any reptiles right now. Route 2 says I've had good fish and bad fish. Yeah. Carlos says, what's your most delicate species? I don't know how to say the name, but it's like Pseudocrenolabiotis nicolsi or something like that. Those guys are really delicate, and I've lost like half of them already. But I've had them for 6 or 7 months, and it's like any change in anything, and they'll start dropping dead. This fish right here, which is strange because everything you read says that they're hardy and they breed, but I've had terrible luck with them. Hey Bob, how do you feel about the Flubel C2? I actually have one. I used it for a while. Really don't have that. I didn't have a bad experience with it. It just sorry, getting a spinning. Technical difficulties. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so the Flubel C2, there's too many compartments to clean. I didn't like it. Took too much time. Clay says, so little water changes with them. Yeah, and kind of so when I first got them, I put them in one of my planet tanks and I just did a normal water change and I added Excel, like a normal dose, and boom, every single one of them was dead within an hour. So then I got 12 more, and it just didn't dawn on me that it was the Excel. I was just like, what the heck? I thought it was the water change. And so then I got 12 more, It did the same thing, put the Excel in, and almost immediately they all were at the surface gasping for air. So I was just doing like a constant water change for hours, and I saved them all, but I've never had a fish like die from Excel. Cameron says, "Do you like Northfin food?" Never used it. Name unavailable says, "I want an iguana. Always have since I was small. I got an iguana when I was in junior high and had them all the way up in all the way up into high school. That's only like 5 years, but then he had an accident with someone else, and that was the end of him." The Fluval 403 KP I've never used. JJ's Tanks ask your thoughts on omega-1 fish food. That's going to be the next food I try. William, I kind of already did my rant on Petsmart, so you'll probably have to rewatch the beginning. Little Lake Aquarium says, any tips for red cherry shrimp breeding? They're super easy. I mean, as long as you have clean water, they should be really pumping out shrimplets for you. Yeah, sorry, William. I don't want to. I don't want to. I've already explained it like 5 times, so I think the best thing to do is just rewatch it when it uploads. Would you rather never keep a fish again or never eat your favorite food again? Never eat my favorite food. I'll just replace it with a different favorite food. Yeah, red cherry shrimp breed like roaches. That's true. I started my cherry shrimp colony with like 20. Name unavailable. I want a big monitor I can feed slabs of meat to. Then I would get a black throat monitor. The Ultimate says, do you know anything about cardinal plant Lobelia cardinalis? Yeah, I have the regular form and the small form. Pretty easy plant to grow, in my opinion. Freshwater Fix. Hey Bob, how did you meet Corey and how can I develop a relationship with him? His knowledge is super fast and I like to absorb more of it. Um, well, I got lucky in that I live by Corey and I went to his store before he was a rock star, and so he actually had time to talk to people. I'm saying he doesn't have time now, but he doesn't spend that much time in the store. So he's just going there over and over and over and over. And then we're both in the Greater Seattle Aquarium Society, so I, saw him at club meetings all the time. Kayla says, rest in peace, Carrie Fisher. Yep. Riley Mac Fishing. Sorry, but you're gonna have to rewatch the beginning. Um, I'm sure a lot of people in this channel don't want to listen to me go over it for the 6th time. Can you overdose Prime? Yeah, I mean, it's an algicide, so I tried. No, not Prime. I was thinking Excel. Can you overdose Prime? I've never heard of being able to overdose Prime. I'm sure you could, but it would probably have to be a lot more than like a half a cupful. Cobra 9444444 says, "Why do my male bettas keep killing each other? Because that's what they do." Kayla got a sample of her Pashy. Can't wait to try it. I bet you're gonna love it. Name unavailable says, anybody know what happened to Kyle's Wild World? He's remaking his channel. It should be ready in a couple days, hopefully. I've been emailing him, and we've definitely been talking, so he should be back. I keep giving him crap. Yeah, I guess, I mean, a cat fill kind of depends on your size of tank. Sorry if you said that, but Jesse says, $1 a gallon Petco sale going on now. Yep, and if you can get your local Petsmart to price match, which mine does, it'll actually be cheaper there. Coal overdose is safe all the time. Yeah, I do too with safe. It's basically the powder form of Prime. Never had any problem. John says, what happened to the Rick? I think he had a kid and he just disappeared. Which is kind of weird because his channel was growing pretty quick. Then he had just started doing like collaborations with all the other YouTubers, and then he just dropped off the face of the earth. Never posted. He might not even be alive, but the rumor is he had a kid and just quit everything. There is no update on the 240 gallon. Still just sitting in the garage. PetSmart use Aqueon tanks. Yes, they have Aqueon, Marineland, Top Fan. Well, those are all the same. Well, Marineland and Top Fan are the same, but they do have, mine, I should say, has Aqueon. They have the 10, 20 long, and 40. They don't have the 55 or the 75. What happened to Green Mountain Goldfish? I thought she was back for a second. Maybe not. I don't know. It's always really strange when you see these people like the Rick. When was the last time? I thought Green Mountain Goldfish like moved or did something. But they clearly have like semi-successful. I mean, they're both at like 10,000. So they're doing decent and then just fall off the planet like that. I don't know. It always makes me wonder. Do you wish Pete Carroll would have given Marshawn Lynch the ball? I do. Sam's Fish says, can I breed peacocks in a peacock community tank? You probably will get them mixing with each other. Oh, I better stop the chat. I got a long one here. Bob, what would, or Burning says, hey, stop. What would you do in my situation? I went to my local fish store today and saw 2 dead fish. Would you overlook 2 fish, or would you start worrying about their fish care? No, I wouldn't worry about it at all. Now, if you're going in there and seeing 2 dead fish every time you go there, then I would worry. Russell says he's got a jet. Well, thanks for stopping by. Oh yeah, it is solid gold that's back. I don't know. I get him confused. Okay, let me scroll back down to where I was. Do you agree with Corey's water changing philosophy? Did you read his last blog article? No, I haven't yet. I just haven't had time. I'm curious what his philosophy is. Click on blog. How to change it. So he says, I prefer to perform a 30% water change on my aquariums when it's time. Larger water changes seem like they would be better. However, you can bring in a lot of stress to the fish and plants. Drastic water changes. The goal of changing water is to keep fish healthy. If you do large water change causes stress and illness, then it's not completing your goal. You might be thinking, I'm sure I just butchered that. You might be thinking, but I don't want to change water every week. Don't worry. You can tune an aquarium to fit your needs. I definitely agree with that. Probably missing a lot of chat here. Uh, kind of funny he says that, and daily water changes. Yeah, his most of, well, not most, I mean, a lot of his tanks are one heavily stocked, like growing out 300 tetras, and I think it's only like 10% a day, if I remember right. Oh, Michael's fish room is here, and I shoot. Sorry, Skyfish room. I meant to time out. You hit the wrong button. What'd you do? I don't know. I'm skipping past all that. So I don't know. I'll have to see. I'll have to read the whole article, but I normally do about 25% water change on my normally stocked aquariums every week. Brian's opinion and comments says he keeps discus. I change water 2 to 3 times per week. Yep. See, that's one of the reasons I don't keep discus. That's just too much work. I don't like them enough to do that. Do pea puffers eat MTS? Yes, they should. I do like big 50, sometimes 75% water changes in my breeding fish for profit tank, but there's 1,000 fish in there and 1,000 cherry shrimp in there. Little Lake Aquarium says, where can I find a snakehead? I wouldn't know. I'm pretty sure they're not legal in my state, so I've never even tried. Can pea puffers eat garden snails too? If they're small enough, they probably would. I probably wouldn't feed them. But before discus, I had 30 tanks. Now I have 5. Yeah, I said that earlier. I said maybe if I didn't. That's exactly what I said. I said if I didn't have 30 tanks, I might try discus. Sam's Fish says, can I keep an Oscar with peacocks and a 75-gallon? I'm sure you could for a little bit. I'm sure it's been done, but they come from completely different types of water, so either it's not going to be good for the peacocks or it's not going to be good for the Oscar. Corey says, what tank size do you recommend to start a guppy colony? Depends on the size of your colony, but 20 gallons would be minimum for me. Ever kept primitive fish? Only the Senegal biker when I first got into the hobby. Let's see. What did I miss? I missed something. Oh, Flynn asked if his German blue rams could be kept at 80. Yeah, I'd probably go a little warmer, just like, well, it looks like that's what Michael said. Oscars are everywhere in Florida. Probably. They get big and people probably throw them out. Did you hear that story of the grandma that cooked the grandkids aged in arowana? She thought it was fish food. Interesting. Do you do species profiles on your favorite species? I find YouTubers besides Rachel's do them. I don't do species profiles, and 2 types of videos I'll probably never do. That's species profiles and review type videos. Just doesn't interest me. Michael's Fish Room asked, the most expensive fish I ever kept are the fish I posted on my Instagram today. I moved to my zebra pleco tank and I got a good picture of them. Granny cooks $3,000 fish. Brian says, are Hikari algae wafers any good? I use them. I would say they're good enough, but they're certainly not the best. Any tank mates for oxalotls? Fast moving. They don't probably have to be fast moving because not like oxalotls are that fast, but I'd imagine any cold water fish, goldfish would probably do good. Maybe. I've never kept an oxalotl, so I don't know specifically all their parameters, but I know people like to keep them cold. Brian says, I have Bolivian rams in with discus. Yeah, I feel like rams, discus, and cardinal tetras is kind of the cookie cutter setup. Hey, Corey. Corey's watching, right? I don't know if he's online right now. Shaggy says, my wife has a 55-gallon rainbow fish tank, celebs, thread fins, neon, Bosemani. Water is testing fine. After 3 weeks, we seem to be losing them. You're probably going to want to start treating them. I don't know what else you would test for. I mean, I assume you're keeping them at like 78 degrees, the standard tropical temperature. Davis says, what types of snails would be good with guppies? Any types of snails. Anyway, Shaggy, I don't know what else you'd want to test for other than your standard ammonia, nitrite, nitrate. Brian says, Bob, can you conjure Corey? I could probably get him on. I couldn't just summon him, but I could ask him. Gerardo says, just purchase the 75-gallon stocking suggestions. Whatever you like, buddy. That's the one question that's so hard to answer because, and I get, this is probably the most asked question I get is, hey, I just got a 20-gallon or I just got this thing. What should I put in it? It's like, whatever you like, man. Find a fish you like and put it in there. Because I'm always going to say, rainbow fish, and not everybody likes rainbow fish. Would guppies eat shrimp or shrimp babies? Yes, so you got to make sure your shrimp are out producing the guppies. Or that you have a ton of plants. I did summon them before on the first live stream. I tried to summon them on the second live stream and was unsuccessful. Although I did summon someone else. I don't remember who it was, but we started talking about them and boom, there they were. Bernie says, what brand of power head do you use to do your water changes? I use a Rio 2600, I think. Is that a thing? 2500 now? That's an older model, yeah, 2600. I think it's like 1200 gallons per hour, but it feels like it's like 10 gallons per hour. Oh yeah, it was Michael. That's right. I do have summoning powers. I just can't control who it summons. I haven't zoned in on that skill yet. I'm still practicing. Scott says, I have really low pH out of the tap of my house. What would be my best bet for maintaining a steady pH for Africans without having to add chemicals all the time? Well, I have really, really low pH, and I have to use the C-Chem products, and it's not chemicals, it's just salt. But So they have like the Malawi buffer, the Tanganyikan buffer, the Victoria buffer. So, I mean, all that is minerals. It's not chemicals, so it shouldn't be a problem at all. Summon me lottery winners. If I could summon that, I would buy my own lottery tickets. And then once I won, then I would share it with you guys. Help me summon Joey. That would be a feat. Summoning Jennifer Lawrence. Now we're talking. See, now we're getting this down. Sorry, Corey. You just got put on the back burner for Jennifer Lawrence. Flynn says, do you ever think bigger fish YouTubers forget where they came from? What do you think a big fish YouTuber, who is that? Like, obviously Joey is the biggest, but, and then it's Dustin, and then who? And then there's like a big drop off. Laszlo says, do you know how to lower GH? I've never tried to. As I'm watching this, a guppy just ate some babies. What size would be best to keep babies in? Oh, 10 gallon. You're probably going to want to put more plants. If you put more plants in there and more places to hide, you'll do a lot better. Short and Anxious is here. I said I was only going to go for an hour, but maybe a little bit, maybe an hour and a half. Maybe I'll do another half hour. Yeah, Flynn. Flynn, you tell me who a big YouTuber is. I think that was you that asked the question, right? Flynn also says favorite Corey Doras. One of my favorites are the Lord Toensis, the Status, the Pulcher, which I keep. Everyone loves the Stir By. I like the Stir By. Short and Anxious says, hey, I just got here, Bob. You can't end now? Well, now I'm going to end it. I'm going to do it out of spite. Just kidding. Megan Gray says, just wanted to share. I'm super excited to get back into the hobby after 10-year hiatus. Scored a 20 gallon and a 10 gallon with all accessories for $40. That is sweet, she says. That is pretty sweet. Are you going to film it? Are you going to let us see your tanks? Over 40,000 subs is big in my opinion. So Joey, Solid Gold, Dustin. What about John? I think John's pushing 50. Equus Corys are nice. Bernie says, I can't believe it's been 1 hour. I know, dude. This goes by... Did I just, like, turn into a California guy? Oh, I know, dude. I can't believe how fast it goes. Like, usually when I hit 2 hours on Saturday, I'm just like, whew. Can't believe it's been 2 hours. Pond Digger has 70,000. Honestly, I've never even looked at his channel. I have, like, very, very little interest in ponds because I can't have one. Do you have a favorite active loach for tanks under 55 gallon? My absolute favorite loach is the dwarf chain loach. Flynn says, how the heck does Corey do 8 hours? Well, because it goes by really fast. You don't even notice. Little Lake Aquarium says, I like the kid YouTubers best because they are the most creative. Yeah, I remember when I was creative. Taylor Nicole Dean has 160-ish thousand subs. Yeah, but I don't know. She's not really a fish channel in my mind. She has fish, but she's kind of like a pet channel. Right? I mean, she does videos on all her pets, not just fish. Okay, Joel agrees with me. At least someone agreed with me. Caleb says, Loaches or Corridoras? If you could only keep one, Corridoras. By far. What food to feed a bristlenose to grow them faster? I don't know. I dump entire cans of green beans in my Pleco tank. Joey Prince says, favorite Pleco? I told you guys last time I get this question every live stream. And I'm never sick of it because I love the Pleco so much, but it's the L397. Big Joe's Fish Room says Taylor Dean is hot. That's why she got so many subs. She got that many subs because her channel was featured on BuzzFeed. Now, whether she got featured on BuzzFeed is because she's hot, you know, that's for you guys to decide. But she got on BuzzFeed, and that's why she blew up. Do your Honduran red points ever beat up on each other or the rainbows? Nope. Even when they're spawning, they just chase. That's all they do is chase. I've never had them bite or nip any fins. Do you do summer tubbing? Nope. How did she get on BuzzFeed? If people knew how to get on BuzzFeed, that's like the golden question right there. If you can get on BuzzFeed, you're pretty much set. But if you can figure it out, you're going to be really rich. How are those SAE going, Bob? Are they eating the algae? Nope, because I feed too much. That's my fault. Joel says, I don't even know what BuzzFeed is, feeling old. I just know like it's a big website type thing. I know they have like 20 different YouTube channels that all have millions and millions of subscribers. It's just like it's like a site that shows like viral videos, and have now gotten so big they can make videos viral. BuzzFeed is how young people get news these days. Cat videos. What I thought was cool about Taylor TND, we love TND, is that she worked at Petco or Petsmart, one of them. I thought that was pretty cool. Sergeant Tank says, "What's up, Bob? What's up, Sergeant Tank?" Kevin says, "Any chance you could put up a live stream or put the live stream up as a podcast later?" I never looked into it. I guess I could try to find out how to do that. Is it just me, or was Joey's planted tank a letdown? I think it depends on how you like your planted tanks. I thought it was cool. I mean, I've done tanks like that before. So, was it a letdown? No. Was it difficult? It was. I mean, it was a pretty easy setup. I mean, it wasn't like amazing, but I thought it was still pretty cool. Freshwater Fish works at Petco too. See, there's good people that work at Petco and PetSmart. Flynn says, "Would you ever want a huge goldfish tank like Joey's?" Nope. If I had a huge tank like that, I would put something else in it. Also, he says it's been 10 years since he last did a Planet Tank. He also says it looks different now. Kayla says, I kind of expected Joey to have a mini oak tree and like elves and crap. Okay. Freshwater says, if I'm in a New York City store, I'll price change it way down for you. All right. Joey said he hadn't aquascaped for years and not to expect much, but he had a good way to hype it by making us wait weeks. Short and Anxious says Taylor Dean Nicole. I think it's Taylor Nicole Dean. Has got so many different animals. I have no idea how she takes care of them all. I'm sure I would end up getting tired and feeding the lizard fish food and making them sick. It's her full-time job now. Kayla says, "You hating on goldfish, Bob?" I'm not hating on goldfish. There's just a lot of fish. There's a lot of fish I like a lot better than goldfish. So I've seen thousands of goldfish between Corey's store and the thousands that are at his house. I've only seen one goldfish that I've liked out of all of those. Oh, that's right. Dan bought the one goldfish I'm talking about. Dan bought it. Anthony says, I thought Joey's tank was interesting. Important thing for me was that I learned something from the process. So I kind of go back and forth, not on his tank, but on his aquascaping style. Like I'll try to do these extravagant aquascapes, and they always, I think they look like crap. Other people like them, and then I take out everything, and then I just do like one or two plants and let them spread, and just like he did in his tank. And I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And then after like 6 months, I'm like, okay, I'm bored of this. So I rip it all out and then try to do a sweet aquascape again. It's just a constant cycle. Joey is over the top and gets you so hyped for his new projects. That tank made me sad. I, I still thought it was pretty sweet, but at this point, it's not something that I would do. Full-time home petting zoo. Yep. Native Fish Keeper says, if you could keep natives, what would be the one you would keep? Probably darters. Any type of darter. Rainbow darter. That's the only one I can think of offhand because that's the one I like the most. Am I sub to Brian something? I don't know. Let me find out. Sounds familiar. Oh yeah, the snake bites guy. No, I'm not subscribed to him. I knew he sounded familiar. ACH Aquatics says, how's everyone doing tonight? Just got home from work. Doing well, thank you. Brian says, is it weird my favorite kind of fish are nano species? No, not weird at all. So you should really like Rachel's channel then, right? Brian's opinion and comment says, I think he is no longer the DIY channel. I think he is just out of sheer content. He's like an encyclopedia of DIY on his channel. Corey says, Bob, have you ever built a tank? Nope. The closest I've gone is resealing tanks. Snake Bites TV. So I'm not subscribed to any reptile channels at all. I'm subscribed to one amphibian channel. No, I lied. I'm subscribed to one reptile channel, but he quit like 2 years ago. So I'm trying to resist that temptation. Caleb says, do you have a favorite YouTube channel? I could probably pick a couple favorite, but they're not fish related. I don't know. It would take some time because I'm scrolling through my list of like 400 subscriptions right now. It would take some time to try to pick out a couple favorites. Short and Anxious says, I didn't realize TND was a full-time YouTuber. Yeah, she just recently quit her job at Petco or Petsmart. She was probably making more on YouTube a long time ago. Have you ever kept rainbows with African cichlids? I have not, but I know not a lot, but I know people have successfully. Tropical Fish, Happy Fish says, anyone else breed black rose shrimp? I certainly don't, but those are really, really good looking shrimp. So Megan Gray asked an interesting question. She says, I saw a turtle tank at PetSmart today. It was cheaper than the kits and worth it. Only a 40-gallon breeder they had, but do you think it's because it wasn't listed as a fish tank, it's not safe to be fully filled? So a lot of the turtle tanks are not sealed the same way as fish tanks. So I probably wouldn't do it. But there are some that are sealed. You're really going to want to take a look at it. You're probably going to want to look at the manufacturer and look it up online. Because most of those turtle tanks only get filled like halfway full of water. So they're not built for to be full. Does that make sense? Matthew says at $2.99. No, I'm a driver. No way you can do it safely. Must have missed it. Seals are weak. Yep. Tropical Happy Fish says he'll be ordering from Lucas soon. Is he still on here? Because I need to ask him about a shrimp. I keep forgetting. Lucas. Let's summon Lucas. Timmy Tanks says, hey Bob, I've got two 55-gallon tanks, and the fish I got are 3 Neolamprologus burchardi, 2 Neolamprologus lelupi, 4 Alto Lamprologus compressiceps. I don't know if I got that right. 6 Julidochromis malariae, 7 Cyprichromis leptosoma. How would you split them up in the tanks? I would split them up how you want to breed them. So eventually your compressiceps are probably going to eat any fry. Same with the burchardi. The lelupi can get aggressive, but so far mine have not touched any fry. The Cyprichromis are good with fry. The malariae should be good with fry. So it's just going to be the burchardi and the compressiceps that you probably want to make sure you're not keeping with any of those that you want to breed. Short and Anxious says, what is your favorite small schooling fish, not including rainbows? Dwarf chain loach, probably. Dwarf chain loach. Flynn's Fish Room says, what is the Seattle Public Aquarium like? Do you like it? It is absolutely terrible, a waste of time. Do not go. I'm on the waiting list for L.R. Brett's red crystal shrimp. He just emailed me and told me mine are ready. So it looks like you're behind me on that list. Ivan says, have you ever had a dirted tank, and if not, would you? I have had a dirted tank, and I liked it a lot, except I was in it too much as far as changing plants in and out, and it always made a big mess. So one time I pulled out a crypt, and their roots are everywhere, and it just created a nightmare mess, and so I ripped all the dirt out. Little Lake Aquarium says, I want to breed fish for profit. I know Corey always says guppies, but do they actually breed to stay up to demand? So I breed thousands of them. Well, obviously over X amount of time. I've never I've never taken them somewhere where they said they had too many guppies. Short Anxious says she wants Brits Skittles shrimp mix. Did we summon Lucas? Did he come back? No, see, I don't. My powers are failing me tonight too. The Lizender says, "Hey Bob, will leopard frog plecos eat cold shrimp?" Maybe. Maybe. Barutu says, just watched a Mark's Shrimp Tank channel setup. I'm talking like a robot. Just watch Mark's Shrimp Tank set up an RCS tank. Takes way too much work for me. Yeah. I haven't emailed them back yet because I don't know if I want to do it. Kayla says, Bob, do you cull? And if so, how? I had a couple bad batches of guppy fry that I had to cull, and it's just a painstaking spending hours and hours and hours pulling them out. Penny says, hi Bob, is a dirty tank made with like real dirt, like from your backyard? Sorry for the dumb sounding question. You could do it from dirt from your backyard, but most people will tell you not to. Mainly they do it with organic potting soil. How's your husky doing, Bob? She's doing good. I don't know. I don't want to jinx it because last time I said she was doing good, and then she went back to the vet for 3 days. So I'm just trying not to get too excited about her progress, but she's doing better. And so just getting a little better every day, day at a time. I'm sure I missed a lot of people's questions here. Do Malaysian trumpet snails stay away from eating healthy plants? Mine have never bothered them. That guy says, it's been almost 2 months and my endlers have not produced any babies. I would try feeding them more or changing what you're feeding them. That's kind of what I thought too about the leopard frog plecos eating shrimp. I know there are some shrimp that eat snails and shrimp. I just don't know if the leopard frog is one of them. Is there anything that eats detritus? Yes and no, because if they eat the detritus, then they just make their own detritus. So, what a sad background. Yep, sure is. Laura says, dang it, I just saw this on and I need to crash. Saturday, Bob, question mark. Saturday is up in the air right now, Laura. Might be working on something with Corey. If not, then I'll probably be here. But it's kind of up in the air right now. Caleb says, what do you buy your dwarf chain loaches for? I've actually never bought them because they're spendy little buggers and I want like 50 of them. But I don't think I've ever seen them under like $10. Maybe $10 is the cheapest I've seen them. Rogue says, Bob, getting ready to set up a 55-gallon guppy shrimp pleco profit tank like you got. What's the best way to start a guppy breeding colony? I started mine with 12 fry. Ian Moon says, any tips to acclimate snails? I don't know. I don't acclimate them. I just drop them in. Hi Laura, you're late. You have to buy Doritos for us. I could go for some Doritos right now. Rogue, I have the same tank and I love, love, love it. Oh. Pizza? Will Serpe Tetra eat guppy fry? Probably. Caleb says, my local fish store sells dwarf chain loaches for $17. I would say right around that $15 mark is probably average. Bob, are you doing live guests in the future? I would like to. Ham says, I bought a dozen chain loaches. They were cheap at the time to get rid of snails in the tank. They did a very good job. Corey says, Cool Ranch or Nacho Doritos. Either or. I would say Cool Ranch is my favorite. That's favorite Dorito that's made right now. If anyone on here has ever heard of Jumping Jack's Doritos, those are my all-time favorite, but they quit making them like 60 years ago. Wait a minute, back on the shelves. Jumping Jack Cheese Doritos. Back on the shelves. What? Bob, do you like Takis? I have never had that before. Serpe Tetras are little thugs. If it's not too big, they'll eat it. Yep. Is Inglorious Betta's in here? I haven't seen her yet. Have you ever gone overseas before? I am a world traveler. I have traveled to many different countries. Okay, I've only been to Mexico and Canada. What light and filter would I put on a new 75-gallon tank? It depends on what fish and if I'm doing plants or not. Can you have peacock gudgeons together with corridors and hatchet fish? Probably. Bob, what is your thought on saltwater tanks? Would you ever want to start up a saltwater aquarium in the future? Yes, I will. Most, like 99% positive, I will have a saltwater tank again. It's pronounced. See? I don't even know how to pronounce it. That means I've never eaten it. Takis? Takis? Ever seen or kept purple spotted gudgeon? Gudgeon. Nope. But now I gotta Google it. Ah! Control C, Control V. That's a pretty cool looking fish. What's the biggest aggressive fish for a 55-gallon? Maybe someone in chat can figure that out. Yeah, I don't really get aggressive fish, so maybe someone in chat can help you out with that. Short Nate just says, okay, I don't feel so bad. I've only been to Canada and Mexico too. Laura says, okay, 30 minutes. That's what I said 30 minutes ago when I was supposed to stop the stream. I'm definitely not going past 8 because I still have so much stuff to do tonight with my fish. Oh, I don't know if I ever answered. Someone asked if how's my betta fish doing. He's doing excellent. He's still right over here. Little Lake Aquarium says piranhas are boring though. I feel like everyone that has gotten piranhas has never kept them. They have them for maybe a year, and then they try to get rid of them. Hey, Filthy Phil, how you doing? Penny says, Bob, are you, Corey, and Brett's going to Peru? So I'm gonna seriously start looking into it after the first of the year. I know Corey wants to go. I know Lucas wants to go. I know there's a couple other people that want to go. So, you know, Corey's super busy till probably the end of January. I don't know how long it takes him to do all his business stuff, but I'm gonna shoot out an email next week um, to the guys that do it because I need to know like how many people do we need to go? Like what's the minimum? And if nobody ends up going, then I'll just try to tag along to someone else's group. My friend's piranha they had for over 20 years, and it would pout when they left on vacation. Those are the kind of fish that are pretty cool. Like that's not specific to piranhas. There are other fish that actually get sad when you're gone. Don't think I'll get to go now because I won't be getting my bonus at work. Yeah, so there's different packages for Peru too. There's like an 8-day, an 11-day, and a 15-day. And I am only interested in doing the 15-day. So if one person in the group can't do the 15 days, then I won't go with them. Because the cost difference is so minimal, and what the extra days, what you get out of those extra days are huge. Because I think that the difference in price is like ridiculously cheap. But what you get out of it, like they take you, yeah. So the 15-day is 2,500. Of course, their website is down now. That's pretty sweet. But the 15-day trip is 2,500. For me, it's like $1,000 in airfare. I think it was only like $500 more than the next package down. But with the 15-day, they might do it on the 11-day, but the 15-day, they take you to Machu Picchu, which would be awesome. And then they also take you way up to unexplored rivers where where not even they have been before. And so your odds of finding new fish are a lot better. Yep. Maybe see Harrison Ford running around down there trying to find something. Yep, that's where the best plecos will be on the 15-day trip. Exactly. Although, if their website's down, that's not a very good sign. Maybe it's just me. Oh, there it comes. Now it's coming up. Packages. 8-day package. Oh, they added an 8-day killifish package. That wasn't on there. So 8-day package, 8-day killifish package, and I don't care about killifish. Sorry, killifish lovers. I don't like them. Not that I don't like them. I don't think... Did you just get really dark in here? I just looked at the monitor. Holy cow. I don't think that killifish should be as expensive as they are, since they only live like 2 years. Matthew says, all right, Bob, I'm out of here. We'll try to catch the next one. Thanks for stopping by, Matthew. Yeah, I don't know what just happened. Hmm. Oh well. I'm almost done anyways. Hey Jeff.
Yeah.
Can you flip the light on in here?
Yeah.
Please.
Oh, you're nice because you're on the internet?
Yeah, I'm nice, so I gotta be polite. Or I'm on the internet, so I gotta be polite. Thanks, douche.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we got light. Can we meet Jeff? Well, he just hopped in the bathroom, so he might be busy for a while. See, I wish they had, like, so the website, it doesn't give you, like, dates. They say, oh, this is the best time to go, but, well, let's go to the Facebook event page. Here we go. Collecting April Rainforest and Cloud Forest Expedition. Okay, so they do have it. It was just on their Facebook page. Looks like August. The website is there. I just want to go an hour away to get a bushy nose or an SAE, but Peru would be nice too. I can send you some bushy nose, Laura. Maybe when it gets warmer out, if you want. I can mail you some bushy nose plecos. Penny says, how tall are you, Bob? I saw a video of you and Corey standing side by side, and I would think you're very tall. I'm 6'1", and I hope people are calling me Big Steen because I'm tall and not because I'm fat. Because then I'll be sad. Are you gonna share your catches? Nope. I'm keeping everything. Filthy Phil says, I saw the video Rachel did with those guys. I've always wanted to go. Yep, that's so we were talking about it in Chicago, and then I found that video. No, before Chicago. I don't know. And then someone told me to check out that video. So that's how I found him. Laura, I would send you fish, just pay for shipping. I would not sell you fish at all. You just have to pay for shipping. Ian says, okay, with the Peru trip, how do you get the fish back home? They take care of all of it. You keep everything you catch. They box it up. They import it. They have all the licenses. They take care of everything, which is nice. And then they ship it through airfare, obviously airfare, through airlines, right to SeaTac. There is a limit per day. Don't know what you're referring to, Dwayne. Oh, a limit of how many fish per day. Anyone want to split the bill to import zebra plecos? 3 for 300, minimum of $300 each. I don't know what just happened to that message. Well, if anyone wants to buy zebra plecos and trust Tropical Happy Fish, get in touch with them. My idea of fish collecting trip is going down to my local lake and collecting some shrimp and keeping them in a 10-gallon. What kind of shrimp do you have in Canada? Yeah, I wouldn't think shrimp could survive in Canada. That's crazy. I would just go catch some native rainbows. So jealous. Frozen shrimp. Yep. Are they shrimp or are they crayfish? I would think they're crayfish because that's what we have here. Hey, look. Caleb agrees. Probably crayfish. Okay. Scrolling up to see if I missed any questions. Shaggy says, do you use the same quarantine protocol as Corey? I do not because I'm not selling them back to the public. So I don't have to worry about giving people bad fish. I quarantine some of my fish, not all of them. Depends on where I get them from. Crawdads. Dwayne says, still want to hear what your method is for dealing with cyanobacteria in a large tank. The largest I've had to deal with is a 40-gallon breeder, and I'm testing that out right now. The only thing I'm having problems with is getting it out of the substrate. Everything else is gone. And since I forgot to shoot a video of it, I get rid of, I'll just tell you that I've been trying out hydrogen peroxide on cyanobacteria, and it's working phenomenally. I swear hydrogen peroxide fixes everything. I should check out Rainbow, stop scrolling, Rainbow Runner Barricade. Let me take a look. Oh, let's see. Okay, this could be something I could watch. Subscribe. And since I have 9,000 subscriptions, I'm going to have to write it down so I remember to look later. Anthony says, I use hydrogen peroxide to take care of some green beard algae. Worked amazingly well. Yeah, that stuff's awesome. And it costs like 1 penny. Some parts of the US are more northern than parts of Canada. Yep. Okay, scrolling through, see what else I missed here. The Lysander says, for leopard, frog, zebra plecos / zebra plecos is flow and high oxygenation, or I would, if I could only do high flow or high oxygen, I would probably do high oxygenation. All right. He really wants to know how many times a woodchuck would chuck wood. Luis Franco says, Steenfott, is your 55-gallon guppy pleco shrimp implant really profitable? And as Laura said, it's hard finding good bushy nose plecos up here in Minnesota. Is it possible for me to buy some off of you? Probably in the spring. And maybe I'll get to use Laura as a test because I've never shipped fish before. So maybe I'll ship some to her and see if they live. And is it as profitable? Is it really profitable? Yes, but it would be way more profitable if I sold to the public. Because right now I just take them all and get wholesale prices for it. Corey says, I gotta go, guys. Thanks, Bob. Take care, everyone. Have a good night or day, Corey, wherever you're from. Tony says, how do you harden your water for cichlids, assuming you have soft water like Corey? I use the Seachem cichlid products like the Malawi buffer, Tanganyika buffer. Nope, Laura, I would refuse to take money for anything except shipping. That's it. I put my foot down. Bob, do you like least killifish? Because I'll go catch you some from a local lake. If they were free, I'd probably take them. I have some right now. I wouldn't say I'm passionate about them. They're mainly food for my baddest. That's terrible to say, but so they breed, and then my other fish eat the fry. Is a Radical Black says, is your guppy for profit tank a bunch of random strains? Nope, they are red delta guppies. There's this little channel called Aquarium Co-op that has good videos on shipping fish. Aquarium Co-op, you say, huh? To write that one down so I can check that channel out later. Your favorite YouTuber right now? Scrolling through my list. Favorite one. I don't know about favorite, but I'm really enjoying Mark's shrimp tanks. I really like his videos. Going through the list.
Alex Jones.
I don't know that I can pick a favorite. There's a lot of good ones. But if you said I can only watch one channel for the rest of my life, I don't know that I could pick a channel. Oh, here's another reptile channel I'm subscribed to. I forgot about that one. Yeah, there's no way I could pick just one. I don't know why I'm still subscribed to the Rick. He's clearly not doing anything ever again. Any experience with pressurized CO2? Yep, I have one tank that I use CO2 on, pressurized CO2. Carlos says, frozen bloodworms, is there ever too much? Depending on the fish, yeah. Like if you just fed Tropheus nothing but frozen bloodworms, you're probably going to kill them. Tropical Happy Fish says, do you guys have any fish swaps like we do here in Illinois? We have a swap meet like twice a year, but they're too far away from me, so I never go to them. They're like an hour and a half away. That's too far for me. Best way to raise snails for figure 8 puffers. Overfeed, overfeed, overfeed. Ivan says they free if you pay shipping. I'd be more interested in some of the other fish that you're getting out of those lakes. The heterandia, it's header something Formosa. You know, I've done them. I have them, so there's any other fish. Ham says, just talked to my local fish store tonight and they are open to buying my excess guppies. That's awesome. Kayla says, Flynn and Manchurian. Yeah, I really like Manchurian's channel. I'm not sure why. I feel like it should be doing a lot better. Maybe, I don't know. I just find it really interesting because he's in China, so everything's just a lot different. I guess he has twice as many subs as the last time I looked, but I wish he would post some of his artwork because he's supposed to be a pretty sweet artist. Flint says, I'm still subbed to so many ghost channels, I don't know why. Yeah, see, that's the thing. There's a YouTube bug that's unsubscribing people from active channels. Like, why can't they just unsubscribe people from the dead channels? I want to do a dwarf hairgrass tank, but without CO2, says Laura. My betta tank has no CO2, and I've got a carpet of dwarf hairgrass, so it's possible. I don't even use Ferts. I don't use any type of Excel. Header Andrea Formosa. I knew it was something like that. Laura says, CO2 freaks me out. I think it's way more intimidating than it really is. It's not that difficult once you get it going. Carlos says, have you tried Aquarium Co-op Easy Green Carbon? Nope. But to be fair, I don't really use those types of products anymore. No liquid CO2 for me. I want him to draw me a betta tat. There's a lot of good artists that are floating around in this chat. Well, there's sunfish. Yeah, the pygmy sunfish, Ivan. I have some, but I want more. I don't know. I'm not sure what grass shrimp are, but pygmy sunfish, I really like those. Should I subscribe to Native Fish Keepers? I'm pretty sure I'm subscribed. Yep. If you want to learn about native fish, go for it. I've been subscribed to this channel for a long time. Yep, I remember his catastrophe video of his cement background that shattered his glass because it was too heavy. I just subbed Native. Yeah, I think it's a good channel. I really enjoy it. I know, right? I wish I could find a fish artist, but my bettas end up looking like guppies, and my guppies end up looking like turtles. I mean, if you want to pay for it, just go to Scales Nature Artist. SCALZ. That's who I got my artwork from. Native Fish Keepers, yeah, that sucked. Yep. Wasn't that like a 33-gallon long or something like that? I think. Those tanks that are 33-gallon long is really rare where I'm at. Do you have any hobbies other than fish keeping? I do. I'm actually going to start scuba diving too. Not a good artist. My stick figures come out like blobs. That's kind of funny. When I was a kid, before I was into fish, my mom was into fish, and my mom had a 200-gallon that we just got, and she was filling it up with the last bucket, and it shattered. That would not be very fun. I'm just waiting for that to happen to me. Scuba diving is on my bucket list. I'm gonna get certified. It's not a one-time thing. Anthony Reagan says, I don't think I've ever seen a 33-gallon long. Think of a 55-gallon, but like 8 inches shorter. Freshwater Fix says, what was your biggest surprise after you started your channel? How fast it's grown. Also, how interesting I find it. And by that I mean like the analytics. Who's watching, when they're watching, male, female, age. I don't know. I just nerd out on the stats. Hey Bob, how long do you boil driftwood? I do not boil my driftwood. On Dustin's channel, he has a video when he went to Florida and he went to the green swamp, and it's not that far from where I live. I would just like to catch them.
How many subscribers do you have now?
Over 4,000.
Jesus Christ.
Language.
Son of a gun.
Thank you. Penny says, are you going to want a saltwater aquarium after you go snorkeling? No, because anything I find out in the Puget Sound I'm not going to be able to keep anyways. So I don't think it'll make me want it more. Freshwater Fix says, how did you launch your channel? Did you have a big plan? It sounds awesome to track stats and progress and connect with everyone. Well, I made my channel back when YouTube first launched in 2007, but I didn't start uploading videos till maybe a year and a half ago. And even then, that was just for my own enjoyment, so I could just track the status of my own fish. And slowly, more and more people started to watch. And then Corey got big into YouTube, and we're friends, so he helped a lot. Yeah, it's all pretty much downhill from there. Later. You don't, Joel says, you don't get the full story with analytics. Most of the time I watch on my PS4, which will give you no demographics. True, but it also tells me that you're watching from a PS4, and I find that interesting too. Although there's this really small category of what people are watching with that says other. I want to know what that other is. It even tells me when people are watching from Linux. Language, lol, my mom says that all the time. Oh, Flynn, can we meet your roommate? He just walked out the front door. VStag, it won't tell me what each individual person is watching with. It just tells me percentages. Like right now, 60% of the people that watch my channel do it from a desktop computer. Yeah, other is NSA for sure. Puget Sound is awesome for sea urchin and geoduck. There's a lot of awesome stuff in Puget Sound. Oh, shoot. I think I missed something. Oh, I missed it. Ham says, sounds like what you get from web statistics. Yeah, you get all of that, and then, obviously you get all of, how long people watch for, things like that. I think my average view duration is like 9 minutes, something like that. Laura says, okay, I gotta crash, work tomorrow. I'm watching this whole thing tomorrow night, my favorite fishy peeps. See you, good night, Laura. And now that Laura's leaving, I can leave too. Just not that one has one to do with the other, but I said I was going to be off at 7 and it's 8, so I still got a lot of stuff to do in the fish room, so I'm going to be leaving here too. Definitely thanks for everyone hanging out. And if I do another I'm going to do another live stream on Thursday, actually. I think. I haven't picked a time yet. It's going to be more of an impromptu live stream. So hopefully you have your notifications set up. And then, yeah, so a video tomorrow, live stream Thursday, video Friday, and video Saturday, and possibly live stream on Friday. That's what this week's looking like. Bluegill, maybe. I'll do some more research, Ivan. I definitely like pygmy sunfish though, so if you got those around you, let me know. But anyways, I got a ton of work to do. Thank you everyone for stopping by and hanging out, talking fish with me, and we'll do it again soon.